Here you can see I have a big nasty globby weld right here. Say I blew a hole in this and I had to fill it, or I just didn't know what I was doing. I got a big nasty weld and I need to clean this off. It's just too much weld. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my grinding disc, just my regular run-of-the-mill grinding disc that came with my grinder, and I'm just going to gradually eat away at this and try to smooth this out a little bit. Now, again, you don't want to use your grinding disc if you're looking for a nice pretty finish. But if you have a big weld like this and you actually need to have a pretty finish, you're going to want to start off with your grinding disc, your regular run-of-the-mill grinding disc. And that's going to eat away most of the weld so you can come back and finish it with something pretty. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of set this on top and kind of just grind my way down. Now another method is if you want to get down and flush with the metal, and you can start to eat this away. Once the metal gets really hot, you'll be able to see, you'll almost be able to cut through it almost like butter. But you risk grinding all this area in here, back here, with the back of your disc. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of set this on top and just kind of ease my way down, just applying a little bit of pressure each time. So what we have here is a nice, pretty flat surface. It really ate away really quickly, and you can see, I mean, that really didn't do anything to the grinding wheel. So you can really get a lot of grinding done. Now, if you want to get this nice and smooth, we're going to use the sanding disc, and I'll show you how we're going to use the sanding disc. I installed my sanding disc, just how we went over it before, and you can see I have my the shield off just because it gets in the way, but I have all my safety goggles on. Now what I'm going to do is, now before we kind of set this on top and we gradually went back and forth, kind of eased it down evenly to not have any sort of mountain ridges, I call them, any side higher than the other. It's nice and flat and smooth. Now for the sanding disc, we're basically going to do the same thing, only we're not going to apply as much pressure because we don't want to eat into the metal. We just really want to give this a nice smooth finished surface and kind of eat away a little bit of what's left of the weld without digging into the metal. So we're going to do the same method, just don't apply as much pressure. Now you can see we have a nice, flush, beautiful finish. It's already been smoothed out for the sandpaper, and we've taken the rest of that weld off, but we haven't dug into the metal and we haven't dug into the weld. So this weld is still good and strong as long as you had good penetration with your welder, but again, that's another course. But you can see it's just a beautiful finish. We don't really have to do anything else from here except maybe clean off the dirt, and you're ready. You're all finished for painting. Now you can see, you probably saw a little bit how I kind of brought I used the edge a little bit. I applied a little bit more pressure and used the edge of the sandpaper, and that allowed me to kind of get into this crevice a little bit because since you have two pieces of metal, there might be a little uneven and not perfectly flush. You might want to use the edge just to kind of get up on that lip a little bit to make it flush without having to dig into another piece. So that was my problem. This piece here was a little higher than this one, and I was having a hard time getting it nice and flat. But using the lip of the sandpaper here, just using that lip really helped me get onto that edge. So that's it for the sanding disc, and you can use this for any kind of metal, whether you're doing solid pieces or sheet metal, anything, and you're going to get this nice smooth finish just like this.